Good evening, Lawton. This is your Sunday Evening Crier for the week of November 3rd through the 9th, 2025. I'm your host, Garrett Jackson. Thank you for joining us today. This week's events, we're doing things a little different this week. Starting on November 10th, we have the Marine Corps birthday. Happy birthday, Marines. Semper Fi. Also on Monday, November 10th, we have the Comanche County Commissioners meeting at the courthouse. November 11th, Happy Veterans Day. We have a fun-filled packed day for everybody here in the Lawton Fort Sill area. Check out the list of weekly events hosted by the Lawton Public Library. Pay special attention that November is the month for Native Americans, and we'll be talking about that in just a moment. Up next, on the 13th of November, we have, hosted by the Lawton Fort Sill Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by 7 News and the Lawton Constitution, we are going to have a candidate forum for Ward 4 between George Gill and Tiffany Demery. Doors open at 6 p.m. and it starts at 6:30. It'll be at the Hilton Garden Inn and Convention Center. Free tickets are available. Please make sure you reach out to the Lawton Fort Sill Chamber of Commerce for details. And on Saturday, November 15th, the Lawton Farmers Market is going on. Ward 5 Councilman always wants us to mention that, and this is something that's really kind of neat and dear to my heart. As someone who is slightly on the bigger side, we're having a chili cook-off. It's the 5th annual chili cook-off, and that starts at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's $10 to enter the chili or dessert, and $10 for all you can eat. So all proceeds support the United Way of Southwest Oklahoma. So go ahead and visit lawtonok.gov to register. What a good event. And you know what? With this cold weather that we're about to have, that is probably something that we're all looking forward to. And speaking of cold weather, let's give a shout out to my friend and fellow YouTuber, Austin Bowling at the Texoma WeatherLab, TexomaWeatherLab.com, and you can also find him on Facebook and YouTube. He is someone I have worked with at Eisenhower High School, but also a wonderful weatherman and just a resource that we should all get to know here in Southwest Oklahoma. So when you need help with knowing what's going on with the weather, reach out to TexomaWeatherLab.com. And just a few minutes ago, I did mention about it being Native American Heritage Month, and I want to spotlight a friend of mine, Donna Rowell, and she is an author. She is a member of the Kiowa tribe, and her first book that she published, Never Name the Dead. It is wonderfully written, and it takes place right here in Southwest Oklahoma. In fact, if you start reading through the pages, you may recognize some of the places that we all know here in the area. Her description of the Lawton Fort Sill Airport floored me. I was impressed because when she described it, it's like, I've been there. I have flown out of there. So, hey, you know what? Let's support local authors writing about local events and the local area. And you can get her book over at the Lawton Public Library, I believe, but also you can support her by going to Amazon.com and searching for Never Name the Dead by D.M. Rowell. She also has another book out we'll talk about in the very near future, but you know, what a wonderful way to help support people in our community. Really quick in some of the news that we're looking at, if you paid attention to Facebook, there was a accident on I-44 a few days ago, and somebody took out a sign, and up on the screen, you'll see a picture of that. Pretty interesting stuff, and that is something that we all need to be aware of. While it doesn't look like any weather was to blame in this case, when that snow and ice starts coming in, we need to start slowing things down and paying attention to what's going on. We want everybody to get home alive and safe. And so let's make sure that, we're doing we're doing what we need to. We're paying attention to the road. Let's slow down a little bit if we can. And also, just want to throw this out. You know what? As of November 1st, they've changed the DUI, DWI laws. Everybody has a cell phone. Call an Uber. Call a friend. You can go anywhere you want for like $30. Let's try to end drunk driving. That's just something I've seen too many people get hurt and killed by that. And let's move on. And speaking of things in the community that we need to kind of catch up back on is the Lawton Fire EMS. Last week I covered a little bit about what was going on with this. I mentioned it in my article about me talking with the fire chief through email. And I saw one of the transports in the wild, and here's a picture on that. It looks like it's really good. It is a Lawton Fire EMS transport. It is ready to go. Just we are waiting for that ad hoc committee to get some feedback and see what goes forward with that. So let's let our council critters know what's going on, and if you want to support that, let them know that too. And moving over to the city council, I have one item I want to bring up, and that has to do with the light at Cash and 50th Street. And this was kind of a topic that was brought up in the last city council meeting this past Tuesday. And don't forget, we have another city council meeting coming up this Tuesday. But I wanted to play for you what the discussion was on this city council agenda item. And I believe that a lot of people who drive through our community share a lot of the same concerns that our city council did about this. And I found that the discussion to be very, very informative about what is going on with this. And our city council really had some good questions. And, that's just going to be kind of what I want you to pay attention to on this is look and see what kind of questions were asked and what our council did. Kind of an important thing that we start paying attention to what goes on in our city council. These are important meetings that give us a lot of information about what's going on in our community and where we're really going as a city. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look now.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. This is just the item for 50th and Cash Street, that traffic signal that's activated over there. This is requesting for the Council's approval to change that to flashing. So it'll be red or flashing red on north and south traffic, and it'll be flashing yellow on east and west traffic. Pending any questions.
Ms. Chapman. Ms. Chapman.
Yes, Michael, I asked for this to be pulled. I am very concerned about the changes of north-south traffic having the flashing red, east and west, the flashing yellow. How do drivers know that that's not going to be a four-way red stop light like most flashing lights? I'm really concerned about that. The second thing is we've had it off, and now I know it was put on incorrectly or we didn't know about it. At this point, I think it's safer to have the lights just running the way they are right now. There's so much traffic coming in from Quanah Parker and Cash Road, and people are trying to change 4 or 5 lanes, all of a sudden getting to Brahms or getting to Lowe's. So that's my concern, Council, was primarily one-way traffic is flashing yellow and another way is flashing red, and I don't understand how cars will know, drivers will know what to do with that.
So as far as the flashing yellow and flashing red, that is a standard. It's not necessarily a standard here in Lawton, but it is a national standard. Typically, whenever you see a flashing red, it just means that you are supposed to approach that intersection, stop, and then make sure that any other traffic that's in that intersection is stopped as well. So you're not supposed to go into that intersection unless all the other traffic is stopped. So the flashing yellow for the east-west is basically meant for traffic to continue through, And the flashing red is just you stop, and when there is no traffic, or when traffic is stopped, or when there is no traffic, then you can proceed through that intersection safely. That is a generic MUTCD standard, but
I just don't know about drivers adhering to that. That's a concern of mine, a safety concern.
yes, ma'am.
Mr. Weaker,
Yes.
you have to turn yours off.
Here we go. Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Yes, we had this discussion about turning the light off, which I don't think is a good idea. I think leaving the light on as it is, as was pointed out to the committee when we met, you know, getting the citizens accustomed to one particular way and then changing is a concern, because we don't want a lot of, you know, you ran that light and you came across at this time. And I know on 82nd, it seems like every time it rains, we have that same problem. The lights flash red, and I don't believe they flash yellow. They just both flash red. And most of the time you'll have people practice the courtesy of stop, you go ahead, you were there before I was. Other times it's, well, I'm in a hurry. And so they'll run it, and it's like, no, we take our turn. So I understand her concern. Councilwoman Chaplin, her concerns regarding the red light, yellow light.
So I thought I heard what was close to a motion.
Mayor,
I thought I heard what was close to a motion to leave it as is. Are you making that motion?
I would make that motion.
My motion, to leave it as is. We have a second discussion. Mr. Eaton.
Well, when the lot first changed over, I have to admit I had a family member who had an accident out there. Maybe the first or second morning, and while she was talking to the police, another accident occurred. Now, since then, I think, according to reports, it's much safer over there now than it has been. And I really feel that way. That I have to admit, I'm a bronze junkie, and so I want to go in there and make a U back down Cash Road. You know, the light changes very quickly to the turn signal, and road cars coming up the road, you know, seem to uniformly, everyone seems to be accustomed to it at this point in time. It seems very safe to me, or safer to me, than cars barreling up Cash, or, you know, going east or west. Just my view.
Any other discussion?
I was just going to mention that, you know, and I was going to use the improper word of training. We train people to do something a certain way, and then we change it on them, and that's when we have a problem. And I understand what Councilwoman Chapman is saying too, because that guy that's sitting at the flashing red light, he don't have a clue that the other guy doesn't have a flashing red light too. So that's a problem also. But I think just the fact that it was off, we turned it on, people freaked out because they were used to it being off. Now we've got it on, everything's okay. If we turn it off again or change it, they're gonna freak out again. So I just leave it the way it is. Construction hopefully is gonna start pretty soon anyway, and then we'll have stuff coming in and going out of that. So I would leave it the way it is.
Further discussion? Seeing none, please vote.
Mayor Booker, for clarity's sake, can I have someone state the status of the light right now, because the motion is to leave it as it is. So is it on right now or off? It's on? Okay.
Motion carries 7-0. Okay.
And that wraps up our city council discussion, I guess you will say, the viewing of the city council. And a couple things I'd like to point out that did pass 7-0. Kind of unique in that the entire council that was present voted 7-0. And I say unique because this was something that affects us all here in the community. And just a friendly reminder that Lawton Town Crier is an independent news and commentary project. Information presented is for educational and informational purposes only. And while every effort is made to ensure accuracy, no warranty is expressed or implied. Views expressed are those of the presenter, which is me, Garrett Jackson, and do not necessarily represent the city of Lawton, Comanche County, or any other institution. And with that being said, I'm your host, Garrett Jackson, and I'll see you at City Hall.